Wake up, wake up. It's the Flow Show, no filter. Back for another episode, TGI Friday. Yes, we made it through another week. It is time for some of us who work Monday through Friday. We're going into our off weekend. Got a lot to discuss. Angela says it's Friday and I'm ready to hang up the Flow Show because that's where we go at 8:30 a.m. Oh my, let's get it. Let me cover my ass, no Diddy though. The thoughts, views, and opinions shared on the Flow Show, no filter, are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. Made it to another Friday. And Diddy got another case, y'all. This one is involving the WIN, sex workers. Same old, y'all. But they not stopping. Like I told y'all, I believe they're going to keep coming. And people are going to keep coming out of the woodwork, telling what happened to them and what they finding out later. Happy Friday, Fire Glory. Fire Glory says, happy Friday, Flow and Breakfast crew. Glad to be out of that Airbnb, that other Airbnb. Yeah, rest in heaven to the Hulk. We got to get into this Diddy mess. But yeah, man, you know what? The Hulk, I hate people who, okay, because Hulk said or did some things in his later years, you got to be a miserable person to still hold on to that when somebody is dead. And then you want to pass that around to me. I don't be miserable. I say what I got to say when a person is alive. I hold people accountable while they're alive. And once they dead, it's over with. That's why when you do this, when you do what I do, you can only listen to your real people who follow you. You can't listen to people who just popping in and out and just want to have a moment and try to pass their negative, childish energy on you. Anybody that follows me know that anytime an icon or somebody who has impacted the world passes, I give them a good send-off. I'm not about to be, you know how childish it is when somebody dead to be talking about all their wrongs, just like a funeral. We go to a funeral. You're not going to be at the funeral talking about standing up there, getting in front of everybody and talking about whatever you didn't like about the person. People are, but that just lets y'all know how evil this world is, man, or a lot, or some people in it. I don't pay them any attention. I do what I do. I say what I say, and I don't give a shit. I told y'all, I do my job with passion. I don't have that hate in my heart. People confuse passion with hate. No, I don't have that hate in my heart. I can say, hey, I didn't agree with a couple things you did or this or that, but I still can also give flowers to what impact the person had on me or what impact they had on other people or the industry. They are dead. People need to grow up and find God or find some type of happiness. Because if you still miserable and bitter and attacking somebody after they dead, you got a serious problem. You got a serious problem. You need to grow up. You don't have a soul. You need to get your soul together. At that point, God can deal with whatever you think happened or whatever you think that person did. They with God now. God got the last say. But it is like, thank you for the 1999 super chat. Oh, I forgot the super sticker, y'all. Today is payday. Time to feed Flo's belly. Thank you, Suri. Miss Weathers, I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, before we get into the Diddy mess, Diddy got a new case, y'all. But before we get into that, definitely rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. We used to sit around and watch all of Hogan's fights. As a kid, I would be in tears thinking he was about to lose, and he would always win. And we lost another impact, man. The 80s, all my 80s babies, we taking a beating right now. The 80s is just evaporating right in our face. And to all of those that want to go into a person's negative shit, go do that at a funeral. Next funeral you go to, since y'all always so tough in the comments and y'all always trying to pass y'all badass energy on to other people, that's how you know they miserable. Because see, it ain't enough for them to be upset with somebody or mad about something that dead person has done. But they're so evil, it upsets them that you are bigger than that and you turn the other cheek, which should be admired. You should say, hey, I'm not there with you yet. I'm still holding on to misery because I'm actually miserable in my real life. But you should give a person credit that turn the cheek, because that is actually what we aim for. The next person could be evil, could be racist, could be this, could be that. But we aim for, as a person, to not be like that, to turn the other cheek, to be bigger. And when you are a bigger person and you do turn the other cheek, you are actually supposed to be admired for that. Not try to bring a person back down to your evil ass ways. But next time, go to a funeral. It's a funeral. Go stand up in front of everybody and tell all the bad shit and how wrong you think the person is. Let's see how that turned out for you. I don't care if the person laying in the casket was a piece of shit. You're not going to hear about it at no funeral. So I just want everybody out there to grow the fuck up. And if you still got that kind of hate in your heart and that misery in your heart, keep it to yourself. Some of us was raised right. Like I said, I call people out and while they're alive. I say what I got to say while they are alive. Every day, I hold people accountable. So when they pass on, I let it go. You should try to do the same. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan, a legend. I already said in my post, a lot of last things in his later years I didn't agree with, but this is not the time or the place for that. This is the time to be mature and give everybody their proper send off. I gave Quincy Jones a proper send off, and I had people in my comments talking about he did this, he did that. Get the fuck out away from me. I don't carry that. When somebody dies, they die, and that's it. I respect the dead. You should try it. So anyway, Diddy got a new case, y'all. Laura said she used to go to WWF when she was a kid with the 24-inch pythons. Yeah, with the 24-inch pythons. What the hell? You can't tell. They can't tell me. I have a right to be honest about how I felt as a kid and how much impact Hulk Hogan and the WWF had on me. If that pissed you off, you need to get a life. You need to figure out why you so miserable that even a person dying can't. You don't know how to be a bigger person. The person actually is dead, and you still being a tiny little person. That's a problem. But it's all good. Like I said, y'all know I don't give no fucks. I'm going to say what I feel in my heart, and that's it. I don't give a damn. Hulk Hogan, rest in peace. If you got a problem with it, then you build a platform and you talk about it. But don't tell me what the fuck to do with mine, because you ain't gonna do nothing but get your feelings hurt. Thank you, Munoz, for the $2.99 super sticker. Remember, y'all, it's Friday. It's payday. Thank you, Munoz, one of my longtime followers. Always so supportive. Greatly appreciated. Me and my son been hanging out. It's been a beautiful time, Juice. Every time I'm about to start the show, it's like, dogs are so smart. He's like, he knows the show about to start. Now he don't even wait for me to do my little wake up, wake up, wake up. Laura says, yes, I loved it. Came on every Saturday. Then I saw them live. It was awesome. Hell yeah. I used to love them Saturdays, them WrestleManias. Oh my God. Thank you, C Tuck. Yeah, rest in peace to the Hawks. And if you got a problem because we saying rest in peace to the Hawkster, then who gives a fuck? Your ass miserable. Respect the dead. If you should have said something to him when he was alive, like I did. I always hold everybody. Shannon Sharp. If Shannon Sharp was to pass tomorrow, I will give him his proper send off. I'm not gonna be on there spewing negativity. That's I can't even believe some grown people. I expect that out of a child who may not understand, but there are grown ass, old ass people who are just bitter and mad at the world and don't understand how ugly that looks. 80s baby. Kel said, hey Flo, hey chat, your dog is beautiful. My son's stage name is Big Juice. Shout out to Big Juice, y'all. That's Kel's son's stage name. I much love to your son's career. Melissa, dang, I forgot. Melissa, I was trying to get to your comment. Melissa said something about people spread negativity, but I didn't see it. Where you at, Melissa? Yeah, hey, look, Melissa said I laughed so hard when you said you would rip off your shirts like the Hulk and get yelled at. Yeah, y'all know how much trouble I used to be waiting around for. I used to be waiting around for my mom to say my shirt that I had was old enough so I could rip it off. Like, is this old enough, Mom? And I get to ripping. Couldn't quite rip it like the Hulk, but we did our thing. But yeah, people like to spread negativity, but I don't give a damn. I hold people accountable, but like I always tell y'all, I don't even have hate in my heart for people that I'm holding accountable. I'm just being honest about my feelings, but I just don't have that kind of hate in my heart. I say what I got to say. I speak on how I feel about something somebody did, and that's that. But to run around hating people and being just evil, that ain't me. So sorry if that makes you feel away, but I don't give a damn. So let's get into this Diddy. Diddy got a new case, y'all. Let me get into it. Now, this case has to do with another sex worker, the Wynn Hotel, and some gentleman. I have the paperwork right here. You can't see it, but I'm just going to read some of the main parts of this new Diddy sexual assault crap. This is the United States District Court, Central District of California. The individual's name is Michael Ejawoko. Got a crazy name. Michael Ejawoko versus Sean Combs, Wynn Resorts, the Nevada Hotel, Northwood Investors, and John Doe and Associates. The complaint against Diddy is sexual battery, civil conspiracy, violation of the Trafficking of Victims. He violated the Trafficking of Victims Protection Act, and they are demanding for a jury trial. This is breaking news. This just hit like last night or yesterday. I was going to do a video on it, but I figure I'm talking about it on the show today first, and then I'll do a video. What, you see a fly? I'll do a video today on my social media accounts. So let's get into this. I'm telling y'all, the feds, if you think the feds aren't looking at all of these different little cases and stories coming in about Diddy and figuring out a way to find more criminal charges, you in for a rude awakening. I'm telling y'all, if these cases keep pouring in like this, it's gonna be some shit. So let's say what happened. This case is another chapter in the sad tale of sexual battery, sex trafficking, and civil conspiracy arising from the lurid activities of disgraced music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. According to this paperwork, In or around 2018, the plaintiff first met Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs hired the plaintiff, who at all relevant times was a commercial sex worker. Plaintiff was led to believe that he was engaging in consensual sex work with adult women, including Cassandra, who is Cassie, and Jane Doe. He was unaware that these women had been coerced or trafficked by the defendant Combs. These services included, but were not limited to oral copulation, and physical penetration. So basically what he's saying is he didn't know that this was prostitution and some form of sex trafficking, and he was unknowingly involved in some horrific stuff that he didn't understand was going on. He thought everything was just on the up and up. But he has more accusations. Listen up. Plaintiff provided these services twice in California and 3 times in Nevada. Combs orchestrated and observed the encounters, never participating in the encounters himself, but deriving gratification from directing and watching others engage in the acts that he choreographed. Sounds a lot like the trial we just went through. So this plaintiff is saying that he was basically paid to have relations with Cassie, with Jane Doe, etc., etc. Diddy was in the corner with his itty bitty Diddy, peeping the scene, being a perv. So Combs insisted that the plaintiff used body oil that Combs personally supplied. Plaintiff is informed and believes that the oil was laced with GHB or similar drugs used to incapacitate both plaintiff and the women involved. So this plaintiff believed there was some funny business going on with the oil. He believes something was used in it to incapacitate him and the women. He is ready to take this to speak under oath of these accusations. Let's continue. Plaintiff never consented to being drugged or manipulated and would never have agreed to participate had he known the entire truth. These events always occurred in hotels owned and operated by the defendants. The hotels listed are the Palazzo Casino Hotel and the Wynn Casino Hotel in Las Vegas and the London Hotel in Los Angeles. This is where he brings into what the hotels allegedly did. Steph said, Mohawk Diddy again. Oh, Lord, right. He back. So this is where the hotels get involved, y'all. Hotel staff, according to this plaintiff, hotel staff knowingly facilitated Mr. Combs' illicit activities by reserving hotel rooms under aliases, including the name Mr. Starr. And of course, this was done to shield Combs' identity, granting access to private and secured areas to Combs and his John Doe associates. This is what he's saying the hotel did. They gave Diddy private areas and basically helped him out in these alleged crimes or these complaints. They also escorted the plaintiff and other participants in the encounters to and from the rooms, cleaning and removing paraphernalia used in the encounters, including oils, substances, and drug-related items, failing to report or investigate clear signs of illegal conduct. So basically, they're saying that the hotel knew exactly what the fuck was going on. And the hotel not only stood idly by and let it go on, but they also helped carry out this, I guess, freak offs. Let's continue. On information and belief, hotel staff accepted direction from Mr. Combs' entourage to prepare rooms for these encounters and conceal evidence afterwards, thereby actively enabling and protecting his conduct. Basically, what I just said. Plaintiff is informed and believes that in at least one instance, Mr. Combs paid $100,000 in cash to a hotel staff member at the Intercontinental Los Angeles Century City. Not a defendant in this action, but to suppress surveillance footage showing Combs assaulting Miss Ventura. Plaintiff did not learn of his payment arrangement until June 3rd, 2025. That's around the time of the case. Juice is tripping. This revelation establishes Combs' pattern and practice of using money and prestige to make hotels do his bidding, and further confirm to plaintiff his belief that the hotel defendant played a role in knowingly enabling and concealing illegal acts herein alleged. Defendants and each of them filmed these encounters without the plaintiff's knowledge or consent. After Ms. Ventura and Jane Doe testified in Combs' federal criminal trial, plaintiff came to understand the coercive nature of the scheme and has since suffered profound humiliation, emotional trauma, and psychological distress. The complaints keep rolling in. I told y'all this story is far from being over. We have another September, August, September, another 2 or 3 months. We have another 2 or 3 months until Diddy is actually sentenced. And with these cases constantly rolling in, who knows how that's going to go. All I know is this is another case where somebody feels violated, and who knows they're going to be the outcome. Lily said, just put this mofo in a dark hole and leave him there. Yeah, these are crazy, crazy accusations that keep coming in. But it's just a never-ending story, basically. Kathy says, good morning, y'all. Good morning to you all. Puff, puff, pass. LOL. Good morning to the Wake and Bake crew. Good morning to the Flow, to the Breakfast crew. Good morning to the Flow Show fam. Anitra said, we talking about Diddy again. Yeah, Diddy ain't gonna never, as long as these cases keep popping up, Diddy gonna keep popping up in the news. We got his sentencing coming up, and we got more cases. Angie says, Anitra, the diddler is at it again. What can we do? The Wynn Hotel. Okay, so Kel says she watched an old video of the 95 Source Awards. And when the Bad Boy family came out to perform, Diddy began with a very cryptic prayer at the podium in the dark. Made me cringe, if we only knew. Right. The evilness that goes on. I don't want to leave the chat, but I have to go. Okay, y'all. Melissa says she don't want to leave the chat, but she has to log into her counseling telehealth at 9. I'll try to get back if y'all are still on. Love y'all bunches. All right, see you, Melissa. But yeah, y'all, so Diddy got another case. Let's see how that comes out. Let's see what turns out. But this happened in the Wynn Casino. Now, like I said, trust and believe that the feds are watching every new case that comes in. They are still investigating, according to sources I've read, heard, and according to Gene Deal, who has been right on a lot of occasions when it comes to this case. But this is a guy. Yes, I'm definitely going to New York. Thank you for asking about that, Munoz. I meant to tell everybody about that. I'm definitely coming to New York for the sentencing. I will be there in October with bells and whistles on. I will be given all access to my all access members, of course. Appreciate that to help get me to the sentencing. I will be front and center. Hopefully, I can get in the courtroom. I don't know how busy it's going to be, but I will definitely be there for that monumental moment. So thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Munoz. Suri says, here, Diddy, Karma has been talking to the feds. And yep, Flo said he will be going to New York. Oh, I'm definitely going to New York for the sentencing, 100%. I actually meant to bring that up every day on this show. I just always forget. But definitely will be there. I got a feeling, just like everything else, the sentencing is going to be something crazy. Oh yeah, let me get the subscription link up here for Anitra and whoever else wants to support the show. Please support the podcast and get your VIP membership if you want to be live for the sentencing and get firsthand account of what the fuck is going on and what subscription link is loading in the chat right now. If you want to be front and center for the sentencing, get your VIP membership now. On the go flow will be live at the sentencing to see this dude get 5 to 8 years. I don't think it's gonna be no time served mess. I think it's gonna be definitely more than 3 years. I'm thinking 5 to 8. That's what I'm thinking. But because people are pissed, and I'm sure, and when I'm talking about people, I'm talking about big wigs. I'm not just talking about the regular public. I'm talking about whoever Diddy pissed off in the system or whoever has it out for them. I believe they are making calls because, like I said, I feel like the judge received a call to say, ain't no way in hell you letting him out. It just seemed like the judge, like, it almost seemed like the judge was thinking about letting him out. I don't know. This is me just speculating. But it seemed like the judge got a call like, you let that motherfucker out, I'm going to let you out. So I believe this is going to be a surprise sentencing, meaning people are going to be shocked. We'll see. Steph says, absolutely. Lily, this judge is going to be the savior of this case. Yeah, I believe the judge is definitely going to throw the book at Diddy. I think the judge realized he got away with one, especially the more. Hey, and like I told y'all, did I not say that you weren't gonna hear from any more jurors? After that last juror exposed how much they didn't follow directions and how they all were talking about the case before when they weren't supposed to, did I not tell y'all you wouldn't hear from not another juror? I knew that. The lowest amount you can get is let's see. I don't know if I understand the question. What's the lowest amount you can get? What do you mean? What's the lowest amount you can get, Rachel? What are you talking about? So I can answer your question. But yeah, I told y'all. Oh, time. Well, I guess if the question is lowest amount of time you can get is time served, which would be a couple years. I mean, that's possible. I just don't see that happening. Yeah. So they said, okay. So I figured that's what you were talking about. I just wanted to make sure. He could actually get time served. I just don't feel that's going to be the case, and many people don't feel that's the case. And I don't see the judge. They know all hell will break loose if they say time served with probation. I don't see that happening. And like I said, you notice it's awful. It's been awful, awful quiet. Have y'all noticed that? After that juror came out, put his foot in his mouth, you ain't heard from a juror. You ain't heard from a prosecutor. You ain't heard from a defense. You haven't heard from anybody. Yeah, I agree with Angie F. I think this judge is way too pissed to give him time served. And, all this with the jury and the way they have been exposed to not follow orders, not follow the directions. Y'all know that reflects on the judge. The judge I know he don't like it, and I don't like it. But I know the judge is going to do something to save face, because he was, in my opinion, he was very nice. He might have been too nice, but I can't blame somebody for being nice as long as they're doing their job. But in hindsight, he might feel like his niceness was taken as a weakness. He was very nice and polite with the jurors for the most part, and he would throw in some little jokes there, here and there. And one thing about it, I think we all can attest to this. I can't stand when somebody take advantage of me being nice. Then I got to be nasty. I don't like it, and I'm sure he don't, because I'd rather be nice. I'd rather laugh and joke and smile, even though we still handling business. I'd rather laugh and be able to be, bring some sort of light to the situation without people taking that as, okay, that means we can do him any kind of way. And I believe, honestly, the judge may feel like he was a little too nice to the juror and just too nice in general in this case. And I think he's going to make up for it at the sentencing. That's what I think. I really do. I really think this judge is pissed on how it all played out. Common Sense says, I'm late. However, I'm here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good luck, Lord. What Lord got going on? What did I miss? Like Drake said, what did I miss? Good luck, Lord. But what we wishing her luck for? What Lord doing? Danny Kelly says, Sean Combs is the epitome of degeneracy within FBA's society. Sure. Yes. Okay, she has a doctor's appointment. All right, good luck, Laura, on your doctor's appointment, on your MRI. I hope everything comes out good. Miss Sweet Tooth says, I hope so. She's talking about Diddy, the judge throwing the book at Diddy. She says, I hope so, because it would be a travesty if he just walked away with a slap on the wrist. I agree. Common Sense has happened in threes. Hope, Jamal, and Ozzy. Sure does. What a sad week. The 80s in particular has taken a beating this year. It is unbelievable. But another thing, y'all, that's crazy. So we got the sentencing coming up. We haven't heard nothing from the judge. We haven't heard nothing from anybody. All the jurors, they have disappeared. You haven't heard one. And since when, normally in a big case like this, you be hearing from jurors left and right. You haven't heard a peep. The fact that you haven't heard a peep from any jurors since that juror said all that bullshit, talking about they were talking about the case weeks and weeks and weeks before they even were deliberating, even though the judge told them not to. But the fact that you haven't heard a peep out of any of them lets you know something is going on behind the scenes. I'm telling you. Because if it wasn't, you would still be hearing jurors. They get paid. People offering money to hear what these jurors got to say. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. But you ain't hearing it. You ain't hearing none of it. Because they saying some shit behind the scenes. Something is going on. Like I said, where you can hear, like you already know. I was about to go there, Steph. Steph said it. These jurors and everybody in this case is so quiet that what? What can you hear? You can hear a cat piss on cotton. You can hear a cat piss on cotton. It's so quiet. You have to ask yourself, how did a case so loud become so quiet right after a juror who was an alternate came out talking shit? Came out exposing what was going on behind the scenes. Basically, that was a slap in the face to the judge. Whether he knew it or not, I don't think even the juror did it on purpose. He was just up there yapping about what really happened. And we all know what happened when you talk too much. He messed up all the other jurors' money. It was other jurors lined up to talk. It was other jurors lined up to come out on different media publications, get their little money and talk about the case. But after he came out talking about he thought it was a shakedown, he talking about we didn't believe Dawn at the time. Dawn Richard didn't believe her, even though he said we all unanimously, we all agreed that we didn't believe her. And people said, wait, what the fuck? What do you mean y'all all unanimously didn't believe her? Because see, you motherfuckers wasn't supposed to be talking about the case. The judge told y'all that every single day. And the first juror that comes out to speak about the case, what's the first thing they say? Talk about how y'all felt and everybody felt about the case before y'all even got to deliberations. Damn, that was a mistake. And I know, imagine you're the judge. Imagine you're the judge and every single day you told the jurors, don't talk about the case amongst each other. Don't talk about the case to anybody else. Don't look at your phone. Don't look at the internet. Don't do this. Don't do that. Yada, yada, yada. As soon as this verdict, unpopular verdict, comes out, 5 minutes later, you got a juror on there basically telling they didn't listen to shit you said. Now imagine you have all the power because you can throw whatever sentence you want at. You think you're going to go up there and follow it up, and just like the jurors fuck this case up, you're going to tell them to hold your beer and you're going to go in there and say time served? And this judge is a young judge making his name right now. This ain't no judge. This ain't no 90-year-old judge who don't give a fuck. He already made his name. Who cares? This is a young lion. This is a new judge looking to make his name and let you know what type of time he on, what type of judge he is. That boy is looking through all type of documents. That boy is reading whatever he is trying to figure out. This is why he had the prosecution and the defense give him some other cases to show what kind of time he should be looking at. But I guarantee you this judge is looking and seeing how much time he can give Diddy, because he know the jury got this one wrong and they ain't listen to his ass. They let it go in, whatever the judge was saying, they let it go in one ear and out the other ear. The judge know what this verdict was supposed to be. He a fucking judge. He know the law. He know what was proven. And he was probably shocked at the verdict. But being a judge and knowing how important it is to follow the orders as a juror, once this juror got to talking and telling how the jury was carrying on, he probably said to himself, this why these bastards got the fucking verdict wrong. Because they didn't follow directions. Whenever you don't follow directions, you gonna fuck up. That's why I'm not the person to assemble shit. When shit need to be put together, don't have me do it, because I don't follow those directions. I'm the type of person, I just get to jamming pieces in and putting shit together. And after I put the whole thing together, I got all kind of pieces still laying around. But whatever's supposed to be together, be together. But why? Why are those pieces still laying around? Why, whatever I assembled, whether it was a chair, whether it was some IKEA furniture, whether it was a fucking toy for a child, why are there pieces laying around after I supposedly put it together? Because I didn't follow the fucking directions. When you don't follow directions, 99 times out of 100, you're going to get shit wrong. And I believe that's what the judge seen in this jury. And it was an eye-opener listening to that one juror talk about, hey, we was already talking about it. He didn't say it in these words, but we all know. He said basically, we've been talking to each other about that case from the damn beginning. We weren't listening to shit. It's a reason you're not supposed to look up and get swayed, because you're supposed to totally have your own opinion, not be swayed by people as the trial going on. You are supposed to hold it within all the way up until deliberation, then start talking. That way you have a mountain of evidence in your mind that you have come up with your own opinion. Now we can all deliberate. But if we all talking from the beginning, everybody is kind of shaped. Everybody is shaping each other's opinion before you even get to deliberation. Y'all basically already deliberated incorrectly. So if they were acting like that, y'all, I want y'all to understand this. And this is all the things, if I'm thinking of it, I know the judge thinking of it. If this how they were carrying on with the actual jurors, even though the judge told them not to, do you know how much they were talking about this case when they got home, out at the bar, at the grocery store, talking to their cousins, their aunties? This jury didn't listen to shit. And it showed through that verdict. And if I'm noticing that, damn sure know the judge noticed it. So, to answer that question again, I will definitely be at the sentencing. If you want all access, I just put the link to the subscription to the podcast. I just put it in the chat. It is also in the notes wherever you watching or listening to this podcast. It is the Buzzsprout subscription link. Get you a VIP membership so you can be live and get full account of what the fuck going on when sentencing comes, when the sentencing happens, because I will be, just like I was down there multiple times for the case. Y'all can bet y'all bottom dollar my ass will be there for sentencing. I want to see this shit up close and personal. I want to know exactly what happens. I don't want to hear it from the New York Post, the New York Times, the LA Times, the People Magazine, Yahoo. No, I want to hear it from Flow Who. I want to hear it from the Flow Show No Filter. I want to hear it live and direct. So, y'all, we know the judge is pissed. We know he ain't going to go for it. And like I said, it's a reason why you haven't heard a peep out of any of the, you haven't heard a peep out of any of the, you haven't heard a peep out of any of the jurors at all. Suri says nothing like a letter to the jurors that if they don't stop talking, they'll be held in contempt, jail time. Them jurors shut the fuck up. You can hear a cat piss on cotton. You can hear a cat piss on cotton. You know how quiet it has to be for you to be able to hear a cat piss on cotton? That judge is on fire. Uh-oh. Look at Renee coming through. Look at Renee coming through with the super chat, super sticker. Thank you, Renee. Renee says, Tisa Tales, my girl. Love Tisa Tales. Tisa Tales said that juror came in acting famous. See, these jurors wanted to be famous. They didn't care about getting the correct verdict. Some of them just wanted to be famous. And I'm going to say, there were some jurors on there that knew what was going on, but they had to succumb to the assholes who weren't listening, who were talking, who already had a preconceived notion about what this verdict was going to be. But like I said, somebody said, I'm screaming. Like I said, their ass should have been sequestered. If they would listen to me, they would have had a much better case. Don said parts and pieces left over. Yeah. Oh, you have me putting shit together. It's going to be about 10, 20 pieces laying around while I'm showing you the finished product. In my mind, they done put too many pieces in this damn box. Because you see the finished product right here. Don't pay no attention to all them loose pieces all over scattered across the floor. Don't have me put it together. Because I'm gonna take them directions, and them directions gonna be in the trash. I'm gonna go for what I know. But see, putting a toy together, or putting a chair together, or some IKEA furniture together is totally different than being in a court of law. Tatum said the same thing. They took his kindness for weakness. Not cool. I definitely believe that. And I'm telling you, the judge feels the same way. Because y'all remember, he would crack little jokes. Remember, like if it was the weekend and at a time the New York Knicks were in the playoffs. And he said, he would say stuff like, hey, don't be so mad. Don't discuss the case with nobody. And don't be so upset about the Knicks. Or he would say, enjoy your New York Knicks game. I mean, he was very personable, very cool, and trying to be that like almost like a friendly. And they didn't appreciate it. They stomped on him. Nadine said, if the jury couldn't follow instructions not to discuss the case, you can now understand why they didn't follow direction and find Diddy guilty of RICO. Yeah, this was a hard-headed Diddy. I mean, a hard-headed Diddy. This was a hard-headed jury. They didn't follow any directions, man. And like Nadine Taylor just said, they didn't follow directions on there. I believe like half of them were following directions, and then half of them weren't. And I believe the half that were following directions knew that either they were going to be deliberating for months, or they just had to say, look, well, at least they gave us 2 convictions, and we got to get the hell out of here and get back to our family. I believe they just said, you know what, man, we what can we do? But Nadine, that's a good, definitely a good assessment. They didn't follow no fucking directions. If that, hey, look, we got our behind whooped for not following directions on something serious like that. My granny would have pulled the belt out on all of them jurors for not following directions. It would said your ass hard-headed. But like I said, love the love, Angelina. Like I said, yep, that's what like Anitra just said. They was like, they just gave up. Because think about it. Remember they said they were divided on RICO. That means there were jurors in there. I don't know quite how many, whether it was half of them, whether it was 4 or 5 of them. There were jurors who saw RICO. And then the very next day, within a half hour, RICO was not guilty. So whoever was on the other side was like, look, I'm not voting guilty on RICO. And the other jurors said, you know what? We ain't going to never get the fuck out of here. I got to get home to my kids. It's about to be 4th of July. And it worked in Diddy's favor. 4th of July worked in Diddy's favor. Definitely looking forward to this sentencing. I believe it's going to be something crazy. But also, y'all know we can't leave without talking about the list. The list is getting crazy. More stuff is coming out. We're not going to discuss too much about it today. We're just going to go over the latest and greatest updates on this fucking list. It's like right now there is a battle between Trump and the Wall Street Journal with this Epstein list. Wall Street Journal putting out more and more receipts. But now, do y'all see? Okay, so tell me about that. They voted last night and got it through. So elaborate. Donald still crashing out. They have pulled up old video of a deposition of Jeffrey Epstein where he was asked if him and Donald Trump were ever kicking it, for lack of better words, with women or girls who were not of age. Basically, Jeffrey Epstein said he wanted to evoke his Fifth Amendment right and not answer the question. That was damaging to me. What y'all think about that? The video, yep, 2010 video. 2010 video. An actual man, that is crazy, y'all. I don't care what nobody say. Whatever side you on, for Jeffrey Epstein to not be able to just say, no, me and Donald Trump never hung out with underage people. He couldn't say that. He had to hit it with a no comment. And this ain't no article. This ain't nobody saying it. This is an actual video. If you haven't seen the video after this show, please pull up the 2010 Jeffrey Epstein deposition video. I couldn't believe it. I said, holy crap. He was point blank asked if Jeffrey Epstein and Trump, have y'all been fooling around and doing things or hanging out, whatever words you want to use, that's up to you, with underage, you know what? And Jeffrey Epstein said, no comment. I want to evoke my Fifth Amendment. What the hell? Then I'm hearing Trump is trying to strike some type of deal with Ghislaine. Now, that's just speculation, but there are a couple publications reporting that. Now, this puts Ghislaine in a... Now, Ghislaine she might do anything to get out. So I don't know how this is about to play out, y'all. C-Tuck said he saw that, y'all. And that's crazy work. Now we see why Trump has been going crazy. Now we see why Trump is losing his mind. This video is going viral.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
They talked about his personal relationship with Donald Trump.
Yes. Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump?
So first they asked, have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump? Jeffrey Epstein said yes.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump with females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
He, in his exact words, he said, although he would like to answer that question, though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights. Boom. What the hell is going on? We don't want to hear about nobody else, man. We want to know what the hell is going on. If you want to find it, go to the way I found it is I went to X. If you go to X, which is formerly known as Twitter, if you go there and put in 2010 Epstein, it'll come up under videos. That's where I found it. I don't know. You may be able to find it in other places. That's just how I found it. So we got an update from Angie F. is saying the Democrats pulled a vote together after most of the Republicans left. They had 3 or 4 Republicans come over and they voted to subpoena the files from DOJ in the next month. So we shall see. But it is not going anywhere. But there's no way you can spin it for Jeffrey not to be able to just say no. We ain't been socializing with women with girls under the age of 18. Why he couldn't say that? And even if he did, I didn't see South Park, but I heard about it. I didn't see South Park, but I heard about it. I heard it was crazy. Y'all, who knows? Suri said he never said no. Who knows where this shit is going to take us? Who knows what today going to bring? But on that note, everybody, let's have a great weekend. This is another Flow Show, No Filter. Every day at our new time, 8:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. Everybody, let's get to our mouths. We got to leave on that note. Let's get to our mouths in the chat. Don said, that's like Jay-Z saying him and Diddy ain't friends. Yep. Got to get to these accounts. Have a great weekend, Flow family. I'm out. Everybody is out. Angie says, Flo, you have a great weekend and a great weekend to Juice and King. Yes, sir. Thank you, Angie. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Love you all. I'm out. Libby Bear says, I'm out. Love you, family. Anitra Cuzzo says, I'm out. Kale says, I'm out. Have a good weekend, Kales. Desi says, thank you. Have a great weekend. I'm out. See you later, Desi. Angie F says, have a great weekend. I'm out. Mr. Jarrell says, I'm out. Coco Tay says, I'm out. Hello? What up? Oh, you going to McDonald's? I take a sausage egg McMuffin. All right. Bye. King going to McDonald's, y'all. Hey, have a great weekend, everyone. For the Flow Crew weekend, puff pass to the Wake and Bakers. Lily says, have a great weekend, everybody. See you Monday. Love you, Flo. Rachel, love you, Flo. Love you, too. I think I'm going to end on that note. As always, I love y'all. See you Monday. But I'm out.